I hate Christian McCaffrey. Fucker puts up like 80 points a game all the
I had
time.
Patrick Mahomes seeing.
Oh, they're in the red zone.
He's
There you go, John.
ruining my season.
Oh, yeah. It's
It was bad. I count on him, for a lot of points.
yeah.
All right, gang, what's up, everyone? This
Bet a lot of money
is
on
Fight
Mike
Bananas
Evans.
Podcast. I'm Dave, the professor right
What's
here.
up, baby? We're live.
We are live. John Rappert, always in the building. The promoter, Undisputed Promotions. I got a great story for him. I'm going to make him blush like in 4 minutes. I got a good one for him. Anthony Arvelo Jr., Robbie, Burwell, the man. I can't wait. I've been waiting for this for a little bit. We've been talking, sliding, and it's going to be fun. We can't wait. Fighting on November 16th, UCF Arena. Can't wait. It's going to be huge. Okay, so I always start with the icebreaker. I told you I had a good one.
Yeah, you said you had a good one. So
Good one, right?
We'll be the judge of that.
So, grinding all day at work. Probably Anthony's going to love this. He knows it. 5:01, best moment of the day, picking up my boys, your girls, right? Picking them up at daycare, school, whatever. Best part of the day.
Yeah.
So, picking them up, got the boys in the back, got the big red Suburban now. Going to be 4 kids soon. Gee whiz.
The house is flipped.
House is flipped, right? So someone re-tagged, I did like a little video saying tonight we're going live. You know what I mean? And someone, I think Cam Bennett, re-shared it.
Nice.
So I came on my Facebook thing and I'm like in the car, on Facebook, not driving. I was at a red light, I promise. No, I was driving. And I accidentally hit it and it like hears my voice. So Colin's in the back of the Suburban and he hears me saying like, oh, tonight's the podcast, blah, blah, Fight Bananas, Undisputed, whatever. I'm like, cool. And my son Colin's like, Dad, like, why did you say tonight? I was like, well, buddy, it is tonight, and he goes, but what happens if someone sees it tomorrow? Like, why didn't you say the date? I go, well, that's actually a pretty good point, right? I go, but sometimes I actually do go back and I delete it. But if it's going good, it's my timeline's right. Like, it's people understand it, but I'm like, it's Facebook. And he's like, well, you should have said the date. And then he goes, and what happened if you die before the podcast even airs and you don't get on the podcast tonight? This is what my 7-year-old son says to me.
Good question.
And then
I'm sorry, Colin. Way to think outside the box. I mean,
He
it's,
had you thinking.
I had to think a little bit.
Only
He's thinking.
Then I was like, and then right away, just my mind, I go, 2 things, son. 1, the show has to go on. And tonight we have a podcast, so if something happens to me, John would handle it. And 2, Christmas would suck if I died. That's amazing.
Did he stop and go?
That's a good
Yeah. Probably.
That's what I said to him. Oh my goodness. But
one. That was great.
there you go. I cannot wait.
That's one of your better ones.
Thank you, sir.
That was one of your better
Thank you,
ones.
sir.
I'm
November
impressed
16th.
with Colin's idea of saying the date on the video.
Right.
That was really good.
Right.
Colin, good job, buddy.
Yeah, man. All right, we're sharing it around. We're getting it up. We have the 90-inch flat screen TV up here. We're so excited. So we're going to see all your questions and everything going down. Undisputed, November 16th. The story that I'm going to make Anthony blush a little bit.
Oh, here we go.
All right.
Your water?
Last year?
Nah, I wanted to put this.
Okay.
Man,
So-
that TV.
Yes,
I can't wait. Make the whole thing. Okay. So, Anthony, first time we met at the Ale House in Orlando.
Yes.
2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, somewhere in that time.
Yep.
And we're talking about show was going to be wasn't even at Guild, it was Orlando Live Event Center.
Yep.
I think it was Clash of the Titans 1.
It was December 2017.
Damn. Well, I didn't know all that, but now
Yeah,
you're
man.
really killing
I
it.
know all the dates. I know all the dates of my shows.
So, and we're talking about how it's going down. He's talking about Undisputed Promotions, and it was just awesome, right? And he's making, he's talking about the show. No one loves your babies more than you, and Anthony's talking about Undisputed, so he's loving life.
Right.
And I see in a glimmer in his eye, and he's like, this is an amateur show, but sooner or later, kind of like the game plan, a little bit of the arc, the journey is that I'm going to bring pro boxing back to Orlando.
Yeah.
2 years ago, he kind of whispered in my ear about this.
Yeah.
And now it's happening. November 16th, Halloween's coming up this week, next week. We're right here. Like, I respect and admire people who go for it. Like, he had this vision years ago, and now we're here. We got a pro show November 16th. So, like, this
It's gonna be
How?
amazing.
Yeah, man. Like, how do you feel? Like you're here. You did it. Like it's couple weeks away,
Yeah.
but it's happening. UCF Arena.
I mean, from when we first talked, I wanted to get the team and everybody together so we could prepare for this moment.
Right.
You know? And that was the whole point. That was 2 years ago. So now we're in here, we're doing it. It's a big thing, man. It feels like getting ready for a fight, put it like that. You know?
Right.
So you have to be mentally focused.
You get ready for a lot of fights.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
You know, so you get ready.
yeah, you
But
got-
not just one this time. You got a lot you get ready for.
And and then you look at it, man. It's just the whole preparation to it mentally, keeping everything together, keeping everybody right, and you care, so you want it to go as perfect as possible. So, we're just putting in a lot of time. I think we've had 2 years of work, and the homecoming is November 16th.
Heck yeah, man. I'm excited for the venue you picked. When I heard that one, I was like, yes, yes,
100%.
That was beautiful. That was I think
we
that's
had
clutch.
we had to go in a position that the fight fans and the fighters are going to take serious. Everybody wants to perform at their best on the big stage, and what Undisputed and what we've always wanted to bring out is the best in everybody that gets in that ring on our show.
Absolutely.
So why not do it at the UCF Arena?
Yeah.
Did you ever think of any other venues, or this was the one?
Yeah, I was looking for venues
Right.
since 2 years ago.
Right. Right.
But I had no luck. And this one was just, it was there, but it was like, man, that's the big house,
Yeah.
And eventually, like, I'm the type of person I've always been like, when I feel it, you got to do it,
Yeah.
And I went with it.
I think it's great because you automatically have a market of almost 60,000 students right there. Just like you're just getting they're all gonna know it because they drive by there, whatever it is. You're like anyone that's on campus. I think the mass.
That's a great point.
I think it's like
That's a great point.
35 on campus or 30, like close to 40 on campus. I think 21 is like all 9.
Yeah.
Something like that. But it's huge. That's massive. That's like it's essentially you're gonna see that all across the thing. They're gonna see it. They're gonna do boom. You have that market right then and there. They have quick access to tickets. Things like that kind of stuff.
Right.
And they're in that area. They're gonna want to be there. And
I think, not to interrupt you, but I think the fact that Robbie that's his home.
even
Oh, man,
even
that-
better.
that-
That's
that's
even better.
right.
I didn't know that. So that's
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Local kid,
No,
born and
yeah,
raised, so-
absolutely. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. That's perfect.
Right.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I remember that conversation, man.
Right.
I sat down, I was like, this is what I'll do for the pros, and this is what I want for, when the people walk into the building, I want them to see the commentators, and I want them to feel like they're at an event, and they're at a show, and presentation is everything. And we built up till we got a good team together. And,
Right.
I mean, the last show we had was great with you and
Yeah.
Barry
Coach
and Eric.
Barry Stewart, Eric.
Oh, man, you guys did great, man.
Appreciate
You guys did great.
it. It's good. It's like everyone there live. I hear it all the time about if you go to a football game live, you go to a Dolphin game live, or you go to a wrestling event. It's not the same. You don't hear the commentary. You don't hear Chris Collinsworth on Sunday night or whoever it is. You know what I mean? The Troy Aikman during the Fox games. It's like a big thing. So a boxing team. I remember you always talked about like how Showtime's team.
Yeah.
Like, man, like that team is just fresh. Like that got me. I'm ready to box, and when I hear those voices.
Dave had the talk and he had the look. That's what I was like.
Hey.
he's
Look
got
at that
the-
hair.
Look at that hair.
Look.
Look at that hair.
Hey. Oh, that mic is blocking Anthony. Okay, look at that. Yeah, it's all about Anthony.
The money maker.
Yeah. We appreciate it, man. People are like, hey, we got to get Anthony's face on there. So we appreciate that.
Who's up there, man?
Eddie Martinez, Debbie Gamble's up there.
Oh, Debbie, big time supporter. Much love.
Man, okay, Robbie, let's go.
Mention someone that's pretty on fight day. This young man right here. The first time I saw him fight, he was fresh to death walking in the ring, clean cut, haircut, everything. And he did work. It was back in Tampa. It was down in Tampa.
Tampa?
Yeah, that was the last time I saw you.
Yeah.
Live, I got to see what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But it was a while, but you was looking fresh to death.
Thank you, man.
So
Appreciate that.
He comes in looking clean, too.
I like that. When was that in Tampa?
It was a while ago. It was when I first got with Pete not too long ago. Mike was fighting on that card along with
Yeah, it was a couple years.
and Kimon was fighting on the card, I think, or something.
I had
like that,
two
but
out there for a Leslie promotion out there in Tampa.
You fought
How many years have you been pro?
tall, slender gentleman.
Yeah, he was from Texas. It was kind of like a fill-in fight. I remember
Yes,
that.
exactly.
Yeah, it was. I took it on real short notice, but it went well. I turned pro in 2012.
Okay.
However many.
7 years in the
7 years, yeah.
7 years.
Seven years,
This
yeah.
was like 2016, 15, I think, when I saw you,
Yeah,
17 or
that sounds about right.
Do you have like a feeling that the whole work, all the journey, everything is like leading up to November 16th, leading up to homecoming, leading up to UCF Arena, like everything? This is it?
Yeah, man, definitely. I mean, it's been kind of slow, since I, fight a year, fight here and there. I haven't fought as much as I'd like to, but this year, obviously, is my second fight. We had the big one in Vegas.
Right,
early,
right.
Which
UFC Fight Pass,
which
right?
is big. Lost
Yeah.
a close decision there, but felt good. Got me back in the, first time I went 8 rounds. So turn around, we get right back into camp.
Okay.
Fighting for a title now, so it's
Yeah.
elevated.
Right.
Working super hard, and it's in the hometown, so I couldn't be more excited. I mean,
Right.
To answer your question, yeah. I mean, I feel like it's all leading up, coming to a head right here, and I'm excited about it.
Man, Orlando, it's going down. Have you? Is this going to be like not videotaped? Is this going to be on like an app or a TV or a website or YouTube or something of that nature, or
It
is it
will.
all going to be live tickets?
Live tickets. We will have, the right people in the building to get the right footage that we need to
Okay.
continue promoting the fighters for future events.
Right.
But we want everybody, Orlando,
Yeah, yeah.
Kissimmee, Daytona,
Tampa.
everywhere.
Yeah,
Tampa.
everyone's got to come
Just come
out.
out, man. Show love. Professional boxing is in Orlando. It's here.
Yeah. What's the apps to get the tickets?
Ticketmaster.
Ticketmaster.
Yeah, go to
It don't-
Ticketmaster.
Wait. That Ticketmaster, that's a big one. Like, that doesn't get bigger, better than that. So,
Yeah.
professional boxing, Orlando, Ticketmaster.com. It's easy.
It's good for these fighters because to be a part of something like this, let's say Robbie in his position, I've seen him put in the work. I've seen him put in all the time, and then I've seen him in tough fights where, what was really coming out of it. You know what I mean? And now fighters like him are in a position that they're fighting at a venue that holds value, and these fighters hold a lot of value, and so we put them on that stage. Your tickets are not just a regular ticket anymore. Go through Ticketmaster. I want these guys to know that their value holds up, and box office is everything, but we got to put them there so we can show what they got.
Absolutely. That's
You've been
awesome.
saying that to me since day one about so many fighters, like Robert Brothers, he's been with the family for multiple years, multiple fights in a row. Sean Mason's been fighting on it. Alan Knight's been fighting on it. Just like so many. Michael Pierre, we talked about just off there, like, man, like that main event fight that he had at Gilt Nightclub. So let's talk about like a couple in a row. For one, the Michael Pierre one, electric. Like the Rock, straight up electricity. He was in the main event. Higher Power was in the building. Like it was just like the crowd was nuts at Gilt. And then the show after that at Gilt was the best crowd I've ever seen. It was the main event, Armani.
Yeah.
That crowd was insane. Like, you don't just get that because there's two fighters there, and they're a big part of it for sure.
Mhm.
But it's the promotion, it's the lead, the
Right.
videos, all the the hype.
Right.
And it just, that crowd was insane. Like, we were talking, we couldn't even hear each other on the commentary booth. I was like, my goosebumps got goosebumps. It was crazy.
Yeah, because that's what the sport is about.
Right.
Sport is about entertainment.
Yep.
We can't shy away from the fact that it is a combat sport, and we can't shy away that there's going to be injuries and there's going to be upsets and things like that. But that's what comes with the territory. But putting good fights together is what the fans need, because they pay their hard money to come out and enjoy a show. So they want to see a good fight.
Absolutely.
And I think, I know that November 16th we got a lot of fights on there that are going to be crowd pleasers.
Right. Like, everyone 100%, like, Anthony's just not one and done in this to be one and done. Like, this is a long-term life. Like, this is it. Like, Undisputed Promotions is everything. Like, on November 16th, this is the beginning. This is like the appetizer for the next 10 years. Like, there's no way every fight on this card,
Right.
you got to see Robbie's fight. You got to see Sean Mason fight. You got to see the amateur main event fight of Dominic versus Dany. Like, that fight's insane.
Yeah.
Like, that fight is a future top-notch fight.
Everybody's got something to prove on fight night.
Right.
Robbie's got a huge opportunity, with Dany Pastrana. Dany Pastrana is a dangerous puncher.
Right.
He's a bigger body. But then you have somebody like Robbie that, there's no backing down. He's a beast. It's a big opportunity for him to become world champion. You got guys like Sean Mason that finally gets a chance to fight as a professional at home. You have Robert Brothers that has a chance to become a professional. All the hard work that he's put in the last 2 years, those 2 wars with Alan Knight. You know, then you have you have T.J. Thompson who's fighting on the card. You know,
Yeah,
and
TJ's a stud.
he's been with Undisputed.
Yeah.
Original. Before he went fighting anywhere else, he's been with Undisputed, and now he has a chance to fight at home. There's just so much opportunity for all these guys. It's gonna be crazy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I just know all the shows that I've ever been to that he's put on has just been fantastic.
Yeah.
We love him. It's great atmosphere. You know,
Great
he's put on
atmosphere,
fights.
fun, like
Oh yeah.
good crowd too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've been to a lot
great
of events
crowd,
like
yeah.
these. Sometimes it's a bad crowd. Like, you
Yeah,
know
all
what I
the
mean?
crowds
Like, I
have been
feel not safe, or it's a little like back and forth. Like, honestly, like Undisputed's a great crowd. Like, that means a lot. You know what I mean? Family friendly crowd, but like very exciting. Just a great crowd. All right, it's been like 3-4 in a row, and I don't want to lose it. I got something for Robbie after this though, but we'll see. Eddie goes, "What's both of yours favorite thing to eat with bananas?" Just straight bananas, banana pudding, banana
banana pudding for sure.
banana pudding
Yeah,
for sure.
banana pudding.
I mean,
Grandma used to make the best.
Can't mess with that.
I'll have banana and Nutella sometimes.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
Kimon goes, Robbie, bring that belt home. He goes, "What's
Yes,
up,
sir.
John?"
What
He
up,
goes,
Kimon?
"Salute to big up to promoter Anthony."
Yes. What's going on, champ?
Yeah, man, that's gonna be awesome. The King,
Yeah, you know,
Okay.
he's been on the show.
listen, he started to make noise in the beginning of his career.
Right.
I don't know what happened from the time from his last fight to now,
Sure.
but everybody has their time where they need to get things for their personal life.
100%.
That does come first, and then of course now you dedicate your time to the sport. So I'm happy to have Kimon on the card.
Yeah,
I know he's gonna bring
that's a
a
great
lot. He's
fight.
gonna bring a lot to the table.
That's a great
He's
fight.
fighting a veteran, so he's fighting Ice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's fighting
That's a
Ice.
good fight.
Ice was
Greenidge, right?
Greenidge, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Ice was fighting
He fought good.
amateur. We fought on the same amateur card a few times. I'm sure you did too, Robbie.
Yeah, back in the day.
These guys. It's just great to bring these kind of fights together because Ice got something to prove. He's making a return to the ring. He's been out 10 years.
10 years?
Yeah, 10 years he's been out.
Wow.
But
He's a
guys
really
don't
good-
forget.
really good-
Guys don't
Yeah,
forget
yeah,
how to
absolutely.
fight.
Yeah.
Guys don't forget how to
Oh,
fight.
of course
it's
not.
just we
get
don't
in shape again, right?
We just have to see what.
Really,
yeah, we just have
get
to
in
see
shape
what they're
again.
gonna bring to the table now.
Right.
And then having Kimon on the card,
Wow.
it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be fun.
Wow. Like, I was at anything in life, if you sit on off of it for 10 years, like even like riding a bike. Like I know that's the expression, get on riding the bike, but if you haven't rode that beach cruiser in 10 years, you get on, it's like,
It all
okay.
depends on the training camp.
Yeah, for sure. I was just gonna say that if
Yeah.
he's in a great camp and gets that rust off
Yeah.
a little bit, spars out, gets in lean shape, that's a
It
man.
all depends on the training camp. And
Came on so long.
I don't doubt that these guys are both gonna come in probably the best shape they've been in a long time.
Got to. It's the homecoming,
Yeah,
November
it's the homecoming,
16th.
it's the homecoming.
Get your tickets, Ticketmaster.com. Debbie, of course, he goes, "When's the pro show going down to South Florida?"
She called it first, right?
I know, she did. She did. She was like, she puts it out there every
We already
time.
did amateur, so you never know.
Kimon goes, a statement is going to be made for sure.
Nice.
So on this card, we're looking around a handful of amateur fights.
Yeah, well, not 4 to 5 amateur
Okay.
fights. I want 5 fights on the card because we have champions on there.
Right.
It's a competitive thing with these guys. I called it draft day because most of those guys are going professionally next year. Professional. So
No, that's a good name too.
the
I
whole
like
concept is,
That's
and
nice
this
too.
is something that we're going to continue moving, and to all the amateurs and to the pros that might not make this spot on the card, we'll get you on the next one. We'll put you on the next card. As far as the amateurs go that didn't get a chance to do it, this is going to be something where next year we'll have draft day too. Where and we'll continue to do that because my plan as a promoter is to be able to get these amateurs, build them up in the amateurs, get them great fights, prepare them for press conferences, prepare them for just everything that comes with the territory. Not just going in there and just throwing punches. There's so much that comes along with it. So getting them prepared for that, and then on draft day we see them perform for the last time as an amateur.
That's awesome.
You said that buzzword press conference.
Yes.
We got 2 coming up.
Yes.
Let's talk about the first one.
First one is this Saturday.
This
It's
Saturday.
a press release. You know, I want to get the fighters prepared for fight week. Fight week is where, you know, a lot of the reporters, a lot of people are going to come out to want to cover these fighters. And on Saturday, we have some people coming out. We want the fighters to come out and to be prepared for a press conference. Get your stuff written down, have your stuff together. It's the first time. It's okay to have your stuff written out.
Right.
And that's the whole goal. That's what we've been trying to do, teach guys to be top professionals before they even go professional. So, and then the professionals to actually get those chances. Either you're going to fight on a B-side, you're going to fight on these other cards, and you're really the opponent. Now you can come in where it's a fair shake and enjoy, you know, having a press conference right at home. But it builds them, it gets them ready for it. You know what I mean?
Face-offs?
Face-offs, everything. The guys go face-to-face Saturday. It's at Guild, 1 o'clock. We have a great relationship with Guild, and we wanted them to still be a part of this.
Yeah.
Because they were the ones from day one.
Right.
And so we get to do the press conference there, and I think that they have a good stage, a good setup.
Perfect.
So
That
some of the
screen in
pros,
the
some of the
background.
pros that were like, man, these weigh-ins are like serious, you know? Well, now they get to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And then go out there and just talk about you, talk about what you're gonna do in the fight, and take advantage of every opportunity, because not everybody gets them.
Right. How about the second press conference? Are we allowed to release that date or not yet?
Yeah, November
Okay.
13th. Yeah,
November 13th?
November 13th, and we are working with a few places that are, you know, wanting to do the press conference, but we'll get all that information out to everybody in the next coming weeks.
Make sure if you're at that press conference, you got to wear sneakers. The last kind of press conference weigh-ins I was at, Brawl took out. Island Fight 60, Columbus, Georgia. And we got, I showed Anthony before on the 85-inch screen on the wall up here.
That was 117.
No, it's 85. It's, no, you're right, 117 inches.
Oh.
And so, yeah, the fight broke out at the weigh-ins, and, like, Dean, the promoter, Anthony, a.k.a., right, like, the fight happened, and Dean, like, went right through it. Like, Dean was trying to break it up, but, like, slid right through it, and there was multiple punches thrown. It was heavy.
Now that's something that you can't avoid.
Right.
Like promoters can't say.
Oh, you don't know when that's
You
gonna happen.
just-
You don't know
Yeah,
what.
yeah,
you
of
don't know
course,
when
of course,
it's gonna
of
happen.
course.
You just
Yeah.
never know.
And I have,
It's got to be semi close to be ready. You know what I mean?
Right. The main question here for Rob, like, to me, and we talked about it the whole night afterwards. There's 10 of us, and we just went through different things. Even how no one wants to be disrespected.
Mhm.
And of course, and you're going to fight this man, money on the line, title on the line, a lot of big things on the line. But at the end of it, it's like you have a date with money that you're legally allowed to punch this man in the face.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like that, you know, even how disrespectful he's going to be to you. It's like, okay, no. November 16th, I'm going to show it. Right? Like, was I off? Like, I would never want to fight the person beforehand. Am I off on this? Or is it, if a man crosses the line, you just go?
I mean, I can understand how some buttons could be pushed. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But I think for the most part, I mean, as an athlete, you're a professional.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Your professional date to fight this man is his date. Everything else you take with a grain of salt. It's business. You know what I
Right.
mean? You're supposed to promote the fight. Talk a little shit. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. Oh,
What you gonna do?
100.
Again, I'm sure there are some things that could be said. You know what I mean? That could really set some people off. But me personally, that's how I look at it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? You
and
wouldn't-
that's because what if you throw a hand and you break your hand, and then you're off the fight? You know, like
I think I'm good with everything
okay.
except getting slapped. Like open-handed slap. I think that would be the only thing that I would be like.
That's the one.
Even like a little cheeky one, I'd be like, no, fuck that.
You'd rather be hit than slapped?
Oh, if he could shove me across the ring, I'd be like, whoa, okay, we're
But I
doing
mean, that's
that. We're
different,
gonna laugh.
though.
I will laugh at that. You can throw a robe in my face. You can do some stuff like that. You can yell at me,
Slap.
but if you slap me across the face, I don't know if I can handle that.
If
Or
they
so I
cross
would
the
have to
line
do-
and physically like contact you, then yeah. You know what
I mean, I could do
I-
the forehead to forehead thing. I could, like they do, they get real close. I could do it to where you put your hands around my face. I would just start laughing because we're gonna punch each other tomorrow. So
Yeah.
that's the way I would look at it. But
Okay, so yours is the
I
slap.
think it has to be. That's the only thing I think. I would not like. Oh no, spit! You can't. Don't spit on me.
Oh, of course.
That's
Yeah.
disgusting.
That's
That's just disrespectfully horrible. Yeah.
Yeah, even if you're talking loud enough and you got sprinkled,
It's still like whoa,
yeah,
back
yeah,
up.
yeah. It's crazy, man. Like when that happened, I was like, that just. It was.
But see, that was just a robe that got thrown in his face, right?
Yeah.
Before they went crazy.
But
It was
there
just like he came out with a bathrobe, and chucked at the guy. I think I would have laughed at that because
Yeah.
it was literally a bad throw.
But
It
there
wasn't
was
a
so
fight
much
row.
bad blood. There was like a ton of history. And like,
Behind
that was just the
Yeah.
icing on the cake.
I get it. I mean, but I still was a robe that
I
got thrown. I would have been
it's
like,
soft.
really?
It's like,
That's what you threw?
Yeah.
You threw
yeah, I
a
would have
robe?
like let it hit me and like laughed and be like, I'm gonna get you tomorrow. That's what I would have.
I feel you.
But crazy. But November 16th, the homecoming tickets at Ticketmaster.com. Let's talk about a couple other fights on the card. Let's talk about Robert Brothers.
Yeah.
Who's he fighting?
He's fighting Luis Molina.
Okay. And this is Robert Brothers' first professional fight, right?
Yes. And Luis Molina's 1-0.
1-0 versus.
He fought this year.
Okay.
They're both heavyweight.
Yeah.
They're both big guys. And
How many rounds on that?
4.
4.
Yeah, it's a beginner fight, a debut.
Yeah.
I think that Brothers has a lot of potential. He showed it in his last fight with Allen, and Allen is no pushover.
Oh yeah.
And
Night.
Brothers showed that when he puts his mind to it, he showed that he was in good shape in that fight to be able to hold up with Allen. And this is different. There's no headgear in this fight, and you got lighter gloves with a big puncher like Brothers. But when you look at Molina has a ton of experience. He has a lot more experience than Brothers in the amateurs. Brothers doesn't back down from anything, and this is an opportunity that was presented to both these guys, and they were all about it. Yeah.
Wow.
This,
Back to you, Robbie. One thing you were saying is that you would like to fight more often, and you fought on UFC Fight Pass earlier in the year. Perfect year happens. Is it a spring, beginning of the year fight, summer fight, fall fight? Is 3 fights a year like the perfect?
I think 3 fights a year is perfect for me. I would have liked to have one at the end of summer. It didn't work out that way because that would have been perfect. We had one in April,
Yeah.
so like August, and then
Right.
here in November to finish out the season. I think that would have been perfect, but it didn't work out that way. So I still felt like when we started this camp, I picked up right where I left off, and that was great because my other, I've had such a layoff in between fights from
Right.
before. It's so hard, you get the timing back, and you get your legs back, and everything like that. So this has been nice. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think 3 fights a year is perfect.
3 fights a year. What do you think? What's a perfect? If you were a fighter, what's that perfect number of fights a year?
you ask the fighter. I mean,
Every-
as somebody who trains fighters, like I worked with the amateurs and with Mike and stuff like
Yeah.
that, you kind of judge your fighter on how they perform. As long as they're healthy and they feel good and they're not like banged up needing it, or they didn't take a lot of damage even though they feel good. If they're doing great and they're looking beautiful, finding their rhythm, 3 fights a year is perfect. Just like you said, if that makes them feel comfortable, that's what you want. If as we always talk as the careers go on, we talk about how John Jones, older people, Mayweather was fighting twice a year. That was it. Maybe once as he got older. But as you're young, as you want to keep moving, if he feels good, he's in shape, he's healthy, let him rock, man. Let him get it. As long as it's the correct fights and you got a plan behind it. You know what I mean?
What's the shortest notice fight you've ever took?
Probably that one in Tampa he was talking about.
Yeah.
It was about 10 days maybe.
Yeah, probably. I think it was about a week.
Yeah, and I had just been kind of messing around in the gym. I was heavy. I fought, I think, at like 170. 170?
It was up there because I was confused because the other guy was kind of tall, lanky, and slender, kind of my build and stuff like that. And then he comes in, I was like, he didn't look. I didn't think he was a 165, 170 or like that. He came in. He did work though. Did work.
Yeah.
You dropped him?
I didn't drop him. Man, I don't know how I didn't. I was
beat him.
working that body like
dude, he
crazy.
beat on
but
him.
yeah, it was only a 4-rounder, so I was able to get through and I got the W. But yeah, that was the shortest notice for sure.
He was written about him. Homeboy took it. It was just one of those guys that he was gonna win the whole fight. He dominated. I would definitely say 4 rounds to none.
Yeah.
Easy.
Some people
Unanimous.
just can take
But he
it.
just took a punch.
Right.
He came in really good shape.
November 16th, no game plan given away and all that stuff. But if you had to say, hey, one thing you want to make sure works great, one thing goes perfect. It's like, Dave, if I get my jab off, if my jab is nice, or is it just footwork? I got to make sure my footwork the whole night. What's the one thing you're like, if this goes, if I feel good on this, I'm going to feel good on this in the fight?
I think for me, and getting these fights back to back is going to help. I know. I felt it a little bit in the last fight. My movement, my footwork was good, but just punch placement. Like I know I have power. Okay. I think anybody sparring me, fight me. Okay, he can pop, he can punch, but it's placing those punches and those. You know what I mean? Those kill shots, the chin, the temple, putting them down and relaxing, setting in the pocket, and really like setting up those punches.
The precision.
Yes, the precision of the punches, and that's what I really want to work on this time. And I like the opponent. obviously we're gonna be hitting each other. I'm not gonna have to chase him. He's not gonna have to chase me. So that's one thing I want to work on and showcase this fight.
Okay. Kind of big in the news lately, especially in the boxing. The name I hated. Usually I know every single name. Their fighter. Who's the guy who just passed away?
Patrick Day.
Yeah. As a promoter, does that scare you a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, even before it happened to him, it's just understanding the sport.
Right.
You know, and
It's been a couple like recently. It just seems like it's been
To the beginning of the year.
Yeah, it's
the
like-
same guy.
things happen.
right. Of course.
Adonis
Like,
didn't
man.
die, but he got put in a coma really bad.
Yeah, but he came back from that.
Yeah.
And
No, that was
Sheen-
what I was but that was bad.
The Sheen, you know, passed away, you know, from that one fight, you know, Buddy McGirr's fighter. It's something that you really, it's just like a car accident.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really what it is, man. You know, every time you get behind the wheel,
Mhm.
that there's a risk, and you know, every time you lace up them gloves, there's a risk. But you know, unfortunately, you know, there's so many boxing fans, so many, you know, fight fans and critics that you can pinpoint all these little things, shoulda, coulda, woulda, but really it's the nature of the sport. You know,
Right.
it happens. You know.
He may be able to take a punch way better than I can, and it's just the
Exactly.
way it is. It's
Yeah.
like he's just gonna be better at it than I am. And there's certain things that happen you can't do anything about
He
it.
may have not had to cut 20 pounds.
Yeah,
before.
yeah, the
Exactly.
nutrition, the
Exactly.
rehydration, all of that.
Right.
And some people say that about like MMA. Oh, these MMA guys, they cut all this weight and they lose it, but really it's not as dangerous in MMA than it is in boxing, because MMA you get clipped with a good shot, you go down, he gets you again, fight's over.
100%
In
agree.
boxing, you could fake it till you make it.
Oh,
you know?
100.
So-
I was telling somebody the other day exactly what you're saying,
Yeah.
and saying that if you get knocked down, or say you knock me down, he's the ref.
Yeah.
He's gonna send you to his neutral corner.
Yeah.
This ref over here is now counting
Yeah.
on the ground.
Yeah.
Then he's gonna turn, look at the ref, catch the count, and what if his count's slower than his count? Now I get longer time.
Yeah.
And then when he finally I get up, and I started moving around. He's like, okay. Then he's gonna ask me 3 questions real quick.
Yeah.
And then he's gonna wipe my gloves off.
Yeah.
Then he's gonna send me to a corner. And then he's gonna look at you and say, "Are you ready?" 45 seconds, almost 30 seconds have gone by right
Oh,
now. And
yeah.
if I'm a professional and I'm in any shape, I can recover and fake it till I make it, just like you said.
Yes.
And that could happen how many more
even
times?
if you get, you know, a veteran fighter, a smart fighter goes down and stays down till and takes advantage of the count.
Mhm.
Of course.
If you get up at 3, if you get up at 4, it doesn't change the knockdown in the scorecards. So you stand back, you just take your time, recover, breathe, get oxygen, stand up, tell the ref you're good, and you're back at it again. But that doesn't mean you fully recovered from that
Oh, no.
knockdown.
Oh,
I've been there.
And if
I-
that happens,
yeah,
it's
I've been there. I had a fight before and got dropped, and I was clocked, man. And I got back up, and you're a fighter. So the first thing, you know, I did exactly what he said. That's what you're taught. If you get clipped, you go down, you take the knee, you get up about 8. Like you said, it's a lot longer than just 10 seconds. So you go back. I'm seeing 3 of these refs. You know what I mean? Bells are ringing. And but I'm saying I'm good. And they let me go, but I probably shouldn't have been going, honestly. Like, so that sort of thing happens. I mean, with the Day kid, I mean, he was dropped twice before the real bad one, right?
Mhm.
So like you said, you never know. I mean, he could have never been really fully recovered from the first time.
Oh, exactly. You can
You
be
know
on
what I mean?
autopilot, as they say. You can clip the next the rest of the fight. You're just fighting because that's what you've trained yourself to do, and your muscles are taking over.
Yeah.
But as far as processing really what's going on, you may not be. You might just be working
And
off
there's
sheer
nothing
reaction.
that can
Yeah.
be changed, right? Like there's nothing, because I heard someone's like, oh, if you get knocked down twice, like that should be the end of the fight. Like I disagree with that though. You guys agree with that, or you like that?
There's so many fights
safe
we
Such
can
a fine
Depends
line.
on the ref.
It also
Depends on
depends.
who's in the ring.
It also depends on the fighter.
Yeah,
it just
that's
all
what I mean,
depends.
like,
You can be dropped, and it's just a flash. You
Right,
know what I mean? And
right.
I got back in Vegas. I got clipped. It was a little behind the head, whatever. I got up. I was fine. There was nothing wrong. You know what I mean? It was just a little flash. Kind of took my legs for a second. I got up and it was wrong. But it doesn't. You never know unless you're the fighter. And every time the fighter's gonna say, "I'm good."
Of course.
So it's
The referee's gonna look at how clean the punches are and how consistent they are. If you're getting hit consistently in the round, you've been dropped and you're still taking clean punches, that changes everything. It
Mhm.
changes the whole idea. Like the referee's gonna make a decision based on that. But if you get clipped and you get back up and you're defending yourself, some punches are grazing, some punches are not as clean. The ref should be watching everything.
Mhm.
What happened with Patrick Day, I just feel like it was just unfortunate for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was not really. I mean, when you watched the fight, did you see it?
I watched just the highlights and
You
the
know,
drops.
I watched it just to see what the fight was about. Like,
Right.
was he getting punished from the beginning? And it wasn't until the end when he started fading that everything was affecting him. Even that short right hand, and he went down. So at that point, he played a good role when he got back up. He was ready to go. He was bouncing, and he went back at it again. And unfortunately, when his head hit that canvas, I think that was the final touch for him.
Wow.
Right.
Jeez. Just crazy. Just a sad and unfortunate.
Yeah.
You know. Two last kind of topical boxing questions, and then we'll just definitely get all back into November 16th. One, always a fun question. Who is the best boxer alive today?
Oh, let's do this.
Always fun.
I'll let Robbie go first.
Oh, of course.
Ryan
Can you-
Tannehill.
Before we do it, can you tell me your GOAT? We don't have to say why it's your GOAT. Who's your GOAT?
Oh, go my favorite? Or
No,
the GOAT?
well, you however you want to put it. Who's your
My favorite of all time, Arturo Gatti. I mean, I think he was the most exciting fighter there ever was.
Okay.
I would rather watch him all the time. You know what I mean? And most of these other fighters now, honestly, that's just me. Greatest of all time, who was still very exciting to me and so just skilled and good, was Roy Jones Jr.
My dog.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
a goat. That's mine.
honest,
That's my
bro,
goat,
I
too.
remember going to watch this guy. Dude, he was just amazing, man. He was fast. He was powerful.
Power. And his style in the ring. Like, that's his...
He was fun to watch.
Yes.
He was what I call the MJ of basketball. When he would let something hang, like he'd hit you and go boom like that. It was
Yeah,
like Jordan
like-
looking at you going, yeah, that was pretty, wasn't it?
Dude,
Yeah, that's
he
right.
did.
He was. He had the, it was great.
Yeah.
All sports, at the end of the day, a little bit, it's 10, 15, 20% of entertainment. Like, we're going, everyone, November 16th, everyone in the crowd's going to jump, laugh, yell, be excited. It is entertainment at the end of the day. Roy Jones Jr. was boxing, 100% pinpoint accuracy.
When you want to
everything.
watch a
So that-
highlight reel,
Yes.
you plug in Roy
Yeah.
Jones
Yes.
Jr. This is what you do.
Yes.
This is what you do when you want to watch a highlight reel.
That's a tough one, man. I got different favorites in different, categories. If exciting, I would say Arturo Gatti. I think all his fights were, even when he fought Oscar De La Hoya, he was still giving him a run if he was ready. But I think Arturo Gatti is one of the all-time warriors of the sport.
Right.
Floyd Mayweather would be my technician. I think Floyd is. Everyone can say what they want, but if you follow Floyd and you watch his entire career,
No,
he
he's amazing. He's almost like in a way
earned the chance
underrated.
to cherry pick.
Oh,
and
no, but-
even so, he made the public believe that fight was
Yeah.
probably
Yeah,
the
every
one.
time.
So he was just all around skills, defense. But probably if you want to watch an all-out war, that wouldn't probably be the fight I'd pick.
Right,
Oscar
right.
De La Hoya was great in his prime too, and and it'd be good if a lot of the young fighters now take some notes from the fighters that not too long ago.
Yeah,
You got
no,
the
I agree.
Pacquiao Marquez, the
Yeah.
Pacquiao Barrera. You got a lot of great fights. So there's just so
I
many
agree.
greats back then, man. I couldn't say one in particular.
Okay. Side question, because how you said it, I love it. If you had to promote one fight, where, when, why, and who?
You can take any eras together, put it together however you want. You could just what you feel
man.
you could be
Any
the best.
building.
at.
That's a really good question. You guys didn't give me the.
I know, no, heads up.
We never do that. We go bananas there. We go bananas there.
Practicing it, yes. Man, one fight that I would really like to promote is Dan and that's a tough one. I would have liked to see the Oscar De La Hoya Trinidad. I would love to have promoted the Oscar De La Hoya Trinidad fight, the rematch,
Okay.
because that fight just left me we needed 2 more rounds or 3 more rounds. It was a back and forth fight, and it was a fight that I thought Oscar De La Hoya was able to edge out, but Trinidad brought a lot to it. I would love to have promoted that, but if you look at the fighters at 147 then and the 147s now, I would have probably said I would promote Oscar De La Hoya at 147 in his prime against Floyd Mayweather in his prime. I think that fight would have been a lot more exciting than it was.
Yeah. I'm a heavyweight guy. I want Mike Tyson in Madison Square Garden. That's just.
Who?
Oh, of course.
There's
the
only
best.
one to
Yeah,
pick.
it's always
Just
pick
pick it.
Ali.
Yeah,
It's like
Bronze
there's only
Bomber,
one
you
to
talking
pick.
about the Bronze Bomber and Mike Tyson? I would put that fight in
Joe Frazier?
Oh man, I would put Deontay Wilder.
Oh, yeah, bro. Oh,
and
Mike Tyson. I could see that.
No, that would be. That's
I would put Deontay Wilder and Mike Tyson. I think
doesn't go past 8 minutes.
But that's in the prime.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
think
Oh,
so.
yeah.
They're gonna
So
go
let,
on.
let me ask you this:
Go ahead.
Do y'all believe that he can't beat Mike Tyson in his prime?
Who?
Deontay?
Deontay
I
Wilder?
don't think
Oh,
so.
Thank
no.
you. Come on.
Yeah,
It'd be exciting though. It'd be a good fight to
reason
promote.
why-
Oh yes, it would be.
Yeah.
You can make people believe, but that shit ain't happening.
Listen, here's the thing. It's a good fight to promote. And how it would be promoted is Deontay Wilder can go 12 rounds and he could throw punches in every single round.
Right.
Mike Tyson could go 4 to 5 rounds. So we know that it's a 50-50 after 6 rounds. Anything before that. So
I can see that.
Now when you're watching
The
the
promoter.
fight, now when you're watching the
He
fight, you're
goes
like,
past
okay,
4.
all right, this is the first 3 rounds. Mike usually knocks people out, and Deontay Wilder likes to trade punches. So does Mike Tyson. That plays right down his alley. So we know it's going to be a gunfight for the first 3-4 rounds. After the 6, whoever takes it.
That Deontay's chin ain't holding up, bro. It ain't holding up. He's punching at Mike Tyson's top of his head right here.
Yeah.
Mike gonna eat that with his big old thick neck, roll 80 times,
yeah.
and here comes a huge hook.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I see, but
Don't forget Buster Douglas and Mike Tyson.
we can talk. I want to go so far into that right now. We're not gonna do that. 'cause
Yeah.
The rabbit.
That
Yeah.
fight was set up perfectly for Buster Douglas, not by anyone's fault. It just events happened that it just fell in line. Ducks walked in a line,
Timing is
you
everything.
know, and it was,
Right.
and that's how that worked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But greatest fighter today, Lomachenko. Argue with me.
What?
Argue with me.
Nah, I can't agree with that.
Argue with me.
No, he's been Lomo for.
I would say in that
2-3 years now.
weight division, I'm gonna go with Javante.
No, stop. He's not ready. He doesn't even come in shape in every fight. It drives me nuts.
We'll go with Javante.
No, wait, what? Because he got pop? No, he's got to land it to make it happen.
He's an athlete. He's sharp. He's a good puncher. He has a lot of ring smarts. And Lomachenko's been down before by guys that shouldn't have put him down.
He'd been but also guys that were longer than him that were reaching him from here when he would come in. So he had this. Gervonta's got little arms. When he got a little guy,
Oh, but he's been hitting tall guys. When he
Yeah,
fought
but-
Pedraza, he gave it to him. It was tough in the first 3 rounds, but it's just like with a Floyd Mayweather. They or in Robbie's words, take him to deep
He's
waters
not.
and drown him.
he
Yeah.
is not Floyd. Though. Let's not compare those two that way. He's not that way.
I love asking
Floyd
pros
is a genius in there. That man is not a genius in that ring.
when you watch
good, though.
some of these top end guys, right? Are you watching them still a little bit like wow, like hey, fans? All of us are fans, love them watching boxing, or a little bit of you. 30% of you is like, okay, I'm learning that, I'm watching this, I'm seeing how he jabs here early in the 7th round. Like you watching and picking up little details.
Oh yeah, definitely.
For sure.
definitely. Yeah, I think you have to. I mean, being in this sport, you take
Yeah.
little things, things maybe you could use, things that you like, things maybe that they do wrong. And like, oh, I see that. It's good having an outside perspective on things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I think definitely, yeah.
Wow. Okay, so last one outside the box, outside that Undisputed Promotions family, November 16th, Ticketmaster, get your tickets. Tyson Fury. Does anyone watch WWE wrestling?
No, but I saw he was on there.
I know we can get these boxes, but somehow we always talk about WWE when we do this.
I gotta bring it in.
Somehow.
I gotta slide it in. You know that he's coming
It's
into.
entertainment.
Yeah,
It's entertainment.
he's making $15 million.
Is it 15?
I also heard that he didn't tell his boxing
Yeah.
promoter he was signing with the WWE.
No, it was Bob Arum. He's signed with Bob Arum now, Top Rank,
Okay.
and Bob Arum was all about it because they know that this
Oh.
whole WrestleMania thing that they're doing is gonna be in. What?
Floyd was the first to do that too.
Floyd was the first one to open the door.
For WrestleMania, he did
Mike
it.
Tyson was the first.
Oh,
one
he
to open
was!
the door.
Damn it, he was the special guest
Yeah.
referee with
Yeah,
Stone
Mike
Cold Steve
Tyson
Austin
was
and,
first.
and
Yes.
somebody else. Damn, I forgot.
Then
Right.
Floyd did it, but then
Floyd did it.
Everybody,
Okay.
round of applause for Dave. That was a good one. That was a good one.
Good night,
Yeah,
folks.
he
Have a
got
good
that.
night.
He got that. He got that
Good
one
job.
up. He was Mike Tyson and Stone Cold.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was. Yep.
Yeah.
Floyd's pay-per-view numbers went up after the WrestleMania.
Of course, because they all jumped because he knocked out
What
the
do you
Big
think is
Show.
gonna happen with a fight? Deontay Wilder needs to win this next fight.
Yes.
But what's gonna happen when they go to Saudi Arabia? This is where I think this
Yep.
is where this whole
You're right.
wrestling match is gonna happen. Vince McMahon is so smart to get the big heavyweight talker, the guy that's a great entertainer,
Yes.
to get him and to do this wrestling match, which reaches a whole different market of fight fans and people that know him. And now they're already talking about the Deontay Wilder fight. I think Bob Arum was cool with it. It was the advisor for for Tyson Fury that was afraid that his cuts from his last fight might open back up in the match.
Oh, I got you.
But I think they'll be all right.
No,
Yeah,
they'll figure out a way to make that work.
Oh, yeah.
Like, don't touch side of his face. That's the way it goes down. You hit him, then you're getting fired. I mean, it's like
Every shot they're gonna he's gonna punch him in the
yeah,
back.
it's like,
No
he's
face
gonna roll.
shots.
He's gonna be rolling shoulders like boxing, and then
15 million, no
Yeah.
punch shots. And he's actually fighting a guy like I know you guys aren't into.
Braun Strowman.
Braun Strowman. This guy's he's literally a monster. 7 foot, runs.
Is he really 7 feet?
Yeah, he's 7 foot, 330, just agile. He literally could play the defensive end for the Dallas Cowboys. Crazy.
His name?
Cowboys, talking about a little bit of Dolphins.
What did I just say?
Man,
We're not allowed to do this?
If he comes across
Hey,
the table,
we're gonna win Monday night against the Steelers, and that's the one where we need to win
I literally
We
picked
can
up
win.
I
Undefeated
literally
streak?
picked up the Steelers defense for that.
because we have that first round pick too, so it all makes sense. This is the one I'm telling you. Mark it down.
That
Write
is
it down.
true. There you go. And
I bet
when
he's
I-
right. Now I'm gonna go drop the
I know.
Steelers defense and like go pick up.
I'm gonna drop
somebody else.
100 on the Dolphins plus points. Where I was going with it, you gotta follow my main man Robbie King Robert 17 on Instagram. God, on Sundays, like I'm watching Robbie on
You're
Instagram.
funny.
All,
You are funny. bro.
all
You
week,
are
Robbie,
funny.
it's good. It's a good follow. But on Sundays, it is the best follow in the Instagram bubble.
I laugh every time.
Yes.
I almost want to
Keeping
just go
it
watch
easy,
with
like-
you, like just so I can see like how it is
Dude,
live.
let
I just
me
want to
know,
be
man. Yeah,
where are you gonna be? I'm gonna
Yeah,
come
yeah,
down
where
and
you gonna be
just
Sunday?
watch with you.
He's always
I'll
by
tell
a
you one
pool.
thing. I've seen the score of the Dolphins, and I'll go to Robbie's page.
Yes, yes.
I know
Hey.
Robbie's mad right now.
I was at the first game of the season. It was awful.
Oh,
The
The
yeah.
Baltimore game. I was
Oh.
I've never been so sad in my
So you're a
life.
Lamar Jackson fan?
No. He's a running back anyway.
He's a running.
November
back.
16th
It's
is
the
at the
second coming of Michael
UCF
Vick.
Arena,
Maybe
Orlando. UCF Arena. People asking where it's at.
On a real note, how long do you think he runs for? I don't think he runs for very long. I think this is the only season he gets off running like that.
Oh, Lamar?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're going to figure him out, and they're going to make him pass. I don't know if he can pass, so.
But it's gonna be they're gonna cut that out quicker than they ever cut Michael Vick's out.
Lamar
Yeah,
Jackson's
they'll
out of the
figure it
league in
out.
3 years.
They'll figure it out. And then those guys
He's in the
don't last,
XFL.
man.
Yeah, he's in the XFL in 3 years.
Lamar
They
Jackson.
get beat up.
Happened to RG3. Happened they
The run
can't
first
hang.
QBs, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, RG3 also they sent that man to get punished. They sent him on fly routes in Washington, and he got lit up from that route. But I'm sitting there going,
Why?
what was the head coach thinking for the number 1 draft pick that was a track star that has no meat on him really? Just send him on a fly route, let him get leveled.
I know.
Okay, let's go back to Bart.
Back to boxing. So I know you'll never look past the opponent on November 16th, but do you have what's a kind of a game plan? What's next for the career? Do you want to get back into it in the spring?
Yeah, definitely. Gonna go out first and foremost, like I said, get this title.
Right.
And I think
Let's talk about that. So how did this become a title fight?
It was a title
Magic Man
fight.
right here.
It was a title fight, from the beginning.
Okay, but
I had to, bring the idea up to the organization, the NBA organization.
okay.
Big shout out to Damon Gonzalez and his crew. That we worked really hard on trying to get this fight together and trying to get it where it's the big one. It's an opportunity.
Right.
And the way to really present this fight was that Pastrana is a tough fighter. He's been in there with tough fighters. In his situation, whatever happened in those fights was really on him and what he does. But he is a really, really good fighter. And then you look at Robbie Burwell, who has fought tough fights, tough fighters, and he's been in there where he's performed his best. His last performance is really what gained a lot of attention from people that didn't know Robbie.
Right.
For him to go out there to Las Vegas and to perform and have Roy Jones on the edge, no, not on the edge of his seat, out of his seat.
Let's go.
Let's
go.
And Roy Jones, much respect to Roy, but he was nervous. He was nervous because after that third, fourth round, when Robbie started getting into his groove, Conor was going back. And Robbie put a lot of work on him and gave him a good fight. I thought it was a good fight between both of them. Robbie had a gutsy performance that earned him a chance to get this type of opportunity. So if Robbie takes it, I'm not taking sides on anything, but if Robbie takes this fight and wins this fight, then he moves back into where he was at back in April.
You change your career trajectory.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
100%,
Yeah.
It's a game changer.
It's a game changer for both fighters. They're both locals.
Absolutely.
Dany Pastrana represents the Puerto Rican crew, and this is big for him. This is a win to go home from, and he's been taking this fight very seriously. You know, I've been talking with the coaches and talking with him. They've been very active on the promotion. So putting these two warriors together that have a whole lot to prove is gonna make for, like Pastrana said, it's gonna make for a war.
That's why. And y'all can see it November 16th at the UCF
November
Arena, baby.
16th, Orlando
I'm telling
professional
you.
boxing
Let's go.
is here.
Back in
That's been
Orlando.
the plan, man, to bring pro boxing to the city of Orlando. You know,
Love it.
you've had people throw shows in Daytona. You've had people throw shows in Kissimmee, and you have people. But it's just this is just at a whole
Right in the
different
heart
level because
of Orlando.
it's
Right.
in Orlando and it's everyone. This is their backyard, and I'm excited to bring this fight together for everybody.
Hell yeah.
Robbie's up for a world title. You know?
Yeah, world title.
We
And
gonna
this
have,
was the-
we have a world title fight in Orlando on November 16th. I
That's
told myself
crazy.
that over and over and over. Even in the morning, I was looking at them, I'm like, we got a title fight November 16th. Wait. A world title fight
World
November 16th.
title
So big
fight.
shout out to NBA, the NBA organization, and Dany Gonzalez.
That's always the goal for like any of us, right? We're 7 years old, catching a football in the backyard with our brothers, or you're at the park 3, 2, 1, shooting it. It's like, I want to be a world champion.
Yeah.
You have that opportunity November 16th.
Yeah.
Like, woo!
Yeah.
Woo!
Tell me about it. It's
November 16th.
It's not hard to
and
get
it's
up,
insane.
run your
oh
miles
no,
for that.
man. No,
Hey,
yeah, this
we
is
got time. Let's go. We're running now.
Yeah.
Who coming with me? Let's go.
You should run with Mike Davis.
He runs after fights.
you seen that yet? So Mike Davis, PY Boxing, Port Orange, had that fight in Tampa 2 weeks ago. Took it on 4 days' notice.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Did work. Won the
work.
fight.
Mhm.
Amazing fight. Was kind of like the highlight of the weekend in a way. So the video that went viral, his knockout went viral as well. But the video after the fight, these guys, Mike, instead of taking an Uber from the hotel back to the arena, scooters, they want to run. They want to jog. So Mike Davis, after a 15-minute MMA war, jogs his way back to
Oh,
the
wait,
arena.
he calls jogging.
Yeah, he
Well,
calls
let's all
jogging.
get this right. Wait, he
He's
calls
running
jogging.
18 miles per hour.
He just ran right by me, and I'm like, and he's videotaping the whole thing. I'm like, damn, the whole world knows I'm not in shape now. Shit. And he just ran 15. He just fought 15 minutes, and I'm still running like 30, 40 feet behind. And then he looks at me and Pete goes, "This is my slow speed." I got a finger for you, Mike. You're number one.
So after that UCF arena, like that, Robbie's gonna be running circles around it. World champ, world champ.
That's right. Hell yeah.
Man. So in the spring, the goal is to defend the title in the spring.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yep.
And you have a ballpark area. Would you want to? Yeah, definitely number 2 is in Orlando, definitely. Or are you like, hey, let's see how this goes, and then I know you went down south for an amateur show just a couple months ago.
Yeah. I'm constantly trying to challenge myself in a lot of different things. And this year, the plan was to have 3 amateur shows, one amateur show outside of out of Orlando. So 4 amateur shows, I'm sorry, and one of them was Clash of the Titans, and 1 pro show. So November 16th we'll complete the goals for this year and be perfect. So I'll set new goals for next year, and who knows? I want to get past the 16th.
Right.
Yeah.
I know Brooklyn's always like a little like.
You're up there a lot.
Yeah, it's like.
You're at that venue a lot.
You know,
You
like
see a
that-
lot of
It's
boxing
like
up there.
the crush you had like in 5th grade, and that girl like somehow it's like
get
that's,
out of
that's Anthony's Brooklyn.
Uh,
Nah,
Barkley.
the Barclays Center is a few blocks from where my grandmother owned the building where I grew up as a kid. I lived in Florida a really long time. You say I'm a Floridian, but I still have family there, and just to have an arena a few blocks away is like a little dream thing. Like, man,
Right.
that's cool. And now we got Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and everybody else. But I seen that. And it's just like, and then you got boxing there. Before it was at the Garden.
Mhm.
Yeah,
like,
Barclays is becoming that thing.
Yeah, like that's-
Barclays is very big. The atmosphere is incredible, and just being there with these guys from from PBC, Al Heyman, it was a lot of experience and networking, and that's why we've been back and forth, and we look to go back soon.
Nice. I do. How did I always loved Clash of the Titans. I thought that was a great thing that you guys did, putting on the MMA and boxing together. I thought it was always a great show.
Yeah,
it was
always.
fun. It was always electric. It was
Right.
great on both sides. How did it? Was it cool? Did it have the same feel down south?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was good. Not to say that Orlando wasn't, you know, the shows that we did here in Orlando always had the energy and it was great. But just doing it out there and seeing a different crowd and seeing different fighters and everything, and then you get the same kind of vibe. It's like, man, this is pretty cool. So we had a good time out there. You know, shout out to Combat Night Mitchell. You know, he's been good to work with, and you know, we've been doing shows and killing it.
Yeah, that was cool. I'm glad it was good down there too. That's awesome.
Absolutely. Kind of weird. I know with the professional show November 16th, have you thought about, is there going to be another Clash of the Titans with now, because, you know, Mitchell does pro shows as well. I never thought of that. Every time it was always amateur.
Like I said,
What you trying to say, Dave?
instead of a Christmas list, I'll be putting together the goals for next year.
There you go.
There
you
We'll
go.
put that together, man. But you know, the good thing is that there's opportunities in front of everybody, so we can just decide what we want to do.
Right.
Take on the toughest challenge. That's what I tell everybody. Take on the toughest one. Don't go the easy route. Go take the toughest challenge you can take. And once you get past that, you're in a position that you can plan your thing out and make whatever you want happen.
Kind of wrapping up a little bit. Still stories. Anything else? We'll definitely keep dropping. But one, it's a great question. I think mainly all for you. What is a successful night, November 16th?
A successful night is the fans have a great time out there, a great experience. The fighters, great experience, and successful in their own way. You know, I just want to tell the fighters that are debuting and everything, don't think about anything negative. Think about victory. But nothing's ever promised. So if something doesn't go your way, it's all a learning experience. Losses and things like that don't count. So I want everybody to just enjoy the moment that they got an opportunity on a stage like this, and just the fact that we can continue to throw more shows and open up more opportunities when not just Robbie and Dany are the ones getting a world title shot, but open it up for all the other local fighters on the stage. So I would say a successful night is just everyone can walk away and say, wow.
Nice. That's good.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Same question.
A successful night, walking away with the NBA title. I mean,
Right.
that's not, you know, not going out and doing good. I mean, I'm going to get that title. That's
Yeah.
There's no second. There's no nothing else. So
If it was picture perfect, you could frame it right now. How does it? How?
knockout, of course. I mean, you're always gonna. I don't ever go into a fight and what's gonna go the distance. I mean, you go in there and everybody has a plan. Was it the saying? Everybody has a plan to get hit in the face. You see what happens. Obviously, we have a plan. We'll see what happens. But I mean, I'm going in there and I'm going for the knockout. I mean, every time you step in the ring, you should be going for the knockout. So perfect world. Yeah, of course I'll go.
Now, is it the walk across the ring, one punch, and we end it in 5 seconds, or do you want to go a couple rounds and then put it down with a beautiful setup combo?
I mean, I like to mix it up. I like to put on a show, so
I thought
you
you
know,
liked to bang
we'll
it.
like to bang it out a little bit, and then hopefully catch them, and then and go home with the title. So
Nice.
And that's what both these fighters' styles and mentality is that.
Yeah.
They don't want to go in there and just dance around for 8 rounds. You know, they want to go in there and fight.
God, that fight's so good.
Yeah.
We're excited.
I'm excited for everybody, man. We're
Yeah.
excited for all the guys on there. It's going to be a good night.
So much. And it's just like the best is how much so many of the fighters, Robert Brothers and Sean Mason, we've named a few, but there's 10 fighters that been fighting on Guilt or Orlando Live Event Center and just keep on building amateur and now into a pro.
Right.
And just it's like in baseball, you keep your roster. The Yankee players, like it's so good to see Aaron Judge rise up through the ranks now and Gleyber Torres and all this stuff. It's like seeing this team, and it's like now it's the Undisputed Promotions team. It's like, man, I remember seeing Sean, he actually fought on one of yours with in Kissimmee,
I think so.
right? It was just like that rise is it's awesome. It's like very cool to be a part of.
Michael Pierre, Julian Valero.
Yeah.
You guys know him?
Absolutely. I know Michael Pierre. Absolutely. I've seen Michael Pierre fight 3 or 4 times.
Well, Michael Pierre has improved every fight.
Yes.
He's improved and continuing to improve. And this now is expected to be a test for him, which a lot of guys know him. P. White, a lot of guys from this side know Julian. Julian's a power puncher. He's knocked out a few guys on my amateur shows. So this is going to be a test for Pierre, and it's a win or go home for Valero.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's go. Yeah, that's an exciting fight.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's an exciting fight,
those
for
are two guys. Those are two guys that they mean business when they step
yeah.
into the ring. So that's exciting too. That's gonna be a good
When
one.
they hit you, they're trying to hurt you.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody, I guess that's what all watching them, but when they hit you,
Most of the
they're trying to hurt you.
Also, big shout out to the WBC. They have the Continental title on the card as well. So we got 2 title fights on there, and we're dealing with
Heck
2
yeah.
big organizations. The WBC being one of them.
Right.
Dwayne, Mr. Stop Running Demon, is going after Marvin Solano.
Best nickname.
Yeah, I like that.
That's a good nickname right there.
That's gonna be a
Reminds me
really
of
good fight.
any given Sunday, Willie Beeman Steam.
Right? Yeah. He's actually in Vegas, and he's coming out here, and he's looking forward to showcasing his skills in Orlando and put on a show for all the fans coming out to see the locals.
Awesome.
Any female fights on the card?
I could say that there was one that I was really working for, but it's coming next year.
Okay, next year.
Yeah.
And then the last kind of thing, I don't think, talked about it enough, just because it was one card was almost built almost on this fight, is the Dany Torres Dominic Valley fight.
Man.
And Dany got into a car crash a couple of days before the
Yes.
fight, and
Yes.
didn't happen. And sometimes
All
like
healed
it's,
up, all solid.
Yeah, he was a little down about it a couple weeks after that fight, and he didn't get out of shape. He kept working, and now he's back with it. That fight, we really wish that it had happened in July, but everything happens for a reason. And now
Right.
we have a mega fight like that in the amateurs. That's fight of the year in the amateurs.
yeah,
And
number 2 versus number,
is a number 2 versus Dany Suarez, the undisputed fight night champion.
yeah,
The undisputed fight night champion.
never lost.
So, but Dominic Valle is a great kid, great fighter, a lot of experience, and he's got just as much chance to win this fight than Dany. So, Danny's ready. He looks sharp. He looks ready. Valle is a little quiet right now, but we know he's working. He's training. We see his movement, and it's gonna be a great fight, man. I got a question. Who you got on that fight, Robbie? He looked at me. What?
Put me on the spot.
Who you got on that fight, Robbie?
I gotta go Suarez. I mean,
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
him a little better. I know Valle and his brother, and they're great people. And I sparred his brother, and they're good. Like I said, but I just know Suarez is tough. So I'm gonna go with him.
It's power against ring generalship. Somebody that knows how to get in and get out.
Right.
Dany knows how to get in and get out. Valle is a well-experienced fighter that knows how to push the pace. He's very long. So when you look at it, it depends on who shows up to fight that night.
And like the style of fight.
And to watch them fight on that stage.
Right.
So
UCF
the
Arena.
plan is to get the best out of both of them. You know what I mean? But this is a fight that Dany asked for. He could have avoided it if he wanted to.
Sure.
And it was a fight that Valle was let down, that he couldn't get out there and perform against Dany and have the opportunity to fight for the title. So now they both got the chance and they got what they asked for.
Wow. That's insane. I cannot wait for that fight.
Whoever can implement the game plan the quickest will win.
Yeah,
That's the
I was very
professor right
even
there.
keeled right there.
Yeah, that was a professor right there.
that's a good one.
And you've been out of it a week.
I didn't want to pick.
So
I didn't want to pick either.
I'm gonna go whoever can
That's what I
implement
meant to say.
Yeah.
Whoever
Give it up.
whoever sets their foot down and implements the game
Yeah.
plan first,
Yeah.
they're gonna win.
All right, Anthony Arvelo Jr. Shout out Instagram handles, Facebook,
Yeah,
all that stuff. Shout out Ticketmaster link.
Listen,
Floor is yours.
go ahead and follow the Undisputed Promotions page, Undisputed_Promotions Instagram, Undisputed Promotions Facebook page. Most importantly, go out there and show love and support to the fighters that we have on our page. Show love to Robbie the Beast Burwell, who's coming to be world champion. Shout out to go out there and follow Dany Pastrana, who's dreaming to be a world champion as well. And just all the other fighters that are on the card, man. Support goes a long, long way.
Right.
A simple like, a simple comment, a simple share doesn't cost anything. And if anybody out there listening right now, go out there and do that for these fighters, because you don't know what you could do to them fighters mentally. You could be a big motivation to a lot of these guys, So be a supporter and go out there and show them love.
Absolutely. Robbie?
First and foremost, want to give a shout out to my sponsors, Upper Edge Vinyl Solutions. They take care of my shirts and stuff. Does a great job with the graphics and things. Plug Boutique and A Better Way Protein, always taking care of me. Great protein. You guys should try it.
All right.
I use it every day. It's great. But yeah, just a shout out.
How do you find them? What's the link?
So A Better Way Protein. I mean, you can find. I mean, A Better Way is just A Better Way.
Okay.
Way though, WHEY on Instagram.
Instagram. There you go.
Plug, PLUCK, and then Upper Edge, same thing. Upper Edge Vinyl Solutions. If you need anything as far as like team shirts or a logo or anything, there, my boy Zach over there is super good. Does a great job. Also works everything with the shipping and the shirts. Like he's made everything super easy for me. So check them out. Want to shout out Higher Power and Impact Boxing and Fitness. Train there all the time. Great guys, great work.
Right.
Obviously my coach Peachy with just putting me through it. Having a great camp. You guys, thanks for having me on.
Oh, absolutely.
And everybody come out November 16th. I mean, it's going to be a show. I know. Like I said, it's going to be fireworks. I'm really, really excited about it.
Right. Anything else?
I'm excited too. I can't wait for that fight, bro.
So
I'm
let's
excited
go.
Very excited.
November 16th. Let's go, people. Come on. Orlando bringing boxing back.
World
professional
title.
boxing.
World title on the line.
Like if you
Come
just
get it.
can't,
Let's
yeah,
go.
if you ain't out for that fight, like if everyone in the community is not out for that fight, I'm going to their door and you're seeing this. I'm jabbing. I'm going to be jabbing people all week.
You go to the amateur shows and you see amateur coaches and the coaches that train the amateurs.
Right,
and you see
right.
the amateur families and all that stuff, right? And then you go to a pro show and you might see a couple amateurs, but you see a different crowd, different everybody. The plan behind it was you got the amateurs, pro am, you got the amateurs that bring their community and their people out, and you got the professionals that bring their community out. And now instead of it being a pro community or an amateur community, you have just an all-around boxing community. So everybody out there is seeing the future before they watch the pros go to work. That was the whole plan behind everything.
You're seeing a glimpse of the future while you're watching the present. It's all good.
There you go.
I'm telling you, it's awesome. And I do. It's a world title fight.
World title fight.
Big shout out to Dave.
Hey.
Big shout out to Fight Bananas.
Hey. That's good. Guys, all right, appreciate it.
John. He's fought on our shows as an
I
amateur
loved
before.
it. You've always, like I said, to give Anthony another compliment is every show that he's put on has gotten better and better since I've been doing it with you. Like since I've been fighting on them or coaching with them or anything, they've gotten better and better. They're awesome. They're great. Like you said, you're bringing two communities together, which I think is going to be electric.
Yes.
And then you got guys that fight like him, which is just crowd pleasers, bangers. Just want to come in and do work.
Yeah.
And not to mention he's super handsome like you.
Hey.
All right, so
Hey.
they're coming in.
We taking it
doing
easy.
work. And,
Take it
I'm
easy.
excited for you, brother. I'm really
I think
happy
all the
for
fighters-
you. Happy for you too, man.
Thank
so
you. I
excited.
appreciate it.
I thank all the
appreciate it.
fighters for, trusting in me and the promotion to showcase.
Well, you laid the
skills.
groundwork. You laid the groundwork.
As a professional, to do that, I'm honored to have them on the card.
Oh man, we're excited for both of you guys, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You're bringing a world
Let's
title
go,
fight to
guys.
Orlando.
Let's
I
get
know.
it, man.
World title fight November 16th, Orlando, Florida, UCF Arena. Tickets at Ticketmaster.com.
Undisputed Promotions.
Yep.
Remember,
Team Undisputed.
always keep it old school.
There you go.
Always. For life.
Hey.
There we go.